I have a tendency to laugh at all the wrong moments. Sometimes I forget the words to my own songs. I'm not the silent type, or an exit sign, or a yellow brick road. And you are the one thing that I know.
So it is a little past 6 o'clock and I've decided to make a chocolate cake, which seems pretty random because one, I'm not a huge baker, and two, I normally don't really love like chocolatey desserts, but for the past couple months I have been craving chocolate cake so bad, and this evening I was it's a bit stormy outside, so I'm a bit in the baking mood. So I'm gonna attempt to make the Ina Garten chocolate cake, which is supposed to be delicious. And yeah, we will see.
Wine we drink, dirty dishes in the kitchen sink, and the lights go out till the sun comes up. We are not alone, it's in the miles we drive. Never having to say goodbye, it's the things we tell each other without saying a word. You are the one thing that I know.
There's a beauty that we never know what the future holds. Beneath the surface, we are the calm, we are the storm. I'm not a sunset or a hurricane or a Vincent van Gogh.
You are the one thing that I know. It's in the wine we drink, dirty dishes in the kitchen sink, and the lights go out till the sun comes up. We are not alone, it's in the miles we drive. Never having to say goodbye, it's the things we tell each other without saying a word. You are the one thing that I know.
Hello you guys, and welcome to another day in my life. We just got back from Norway a couple days ago, which was such an amazing trip, and there will definitely be a vlog coming hopefully soon. It might take a little bit for me to get that video up because there is so much footage and I want to do it really well. I was just starting to look through some of the footage for that and also start to find some music, because finding the right music, especially for like travel vlogs, is always the hardest and takes such a long time. So I started doing that, and of course I enjoyed that chocolate cake with strawberries. And speaking of Norway, I wanted to show you guys some of these souvenirs that we got while we were there. Let me just go find them. And you might be thinking it's a bit counterproductive to talk about souvenirs in a declutter video, because I think a lot of times what we're decluttering are things like souvenirs and little things that we've collected. But I did want to show you the couple things that I picked up in Norway, and also just chat about souvenirs. And I think a lot of times when we think about souvenirs, we think about the super stereotypical souvenir that like has the name of the place you went to, the flag, something like that on it. And there's nothing wrong with that if you like that. But for me, I would always buy stuff like that, and then I never had a place for it in my home. And so for a while I thought, oh, I just won't get souvenirs at all. But recently I've kind of been rethinking that and have just realized that you can get souvenirs from places and mementos that are not necessarily the stereotypical souvenirs and are something that represents the country and represents your experience, but is also something that is functional that you're gonna use. So a good example is on our Norway trip, I picked up a pair of these slippers. They are from a Norwegian company. They are made of wool, which reminds me of all of the sheep that we saw on our trip, and they have leather bottoms. So they are super high quality, really well made, something that I'm going to use for a very long time. I mean, just looking at them, you might not know that they're from Norway, but for me, they represent our trip. And when we were there, it was super rainy, a little bit chilly, and the Norwegians and the Scandinavians in general really embrace coziness and that feeling of hygge, and I feel like these slippers kind of embody that. So I know that every time I slip my feet into them, that I will remember our Norway trip. The other souvenir from our Norway trip is more on the souvenir side, but when I saw it in the store, I thought to myself, this is something that I want to put on a shelf, and it is this little house. And this house is modeled after one of the more famous little strips of houses in Bergen. It is also handmade, which was also really special because it's not something that's just like pumped out by factories, but somebody in Norway, probably in Bergen, actually handmade this, handcrafted this. And there's even a spot you put a tea light in here and it lights up the house. In the end, I decided to get this because not only will it be a really beautiful decor piece, but it also tells a story. Yeah, I'm very happy with my souvenirs of choice. And yeah, I guess I just wanted to chat about that because I think a lot of times when we think souvenirs as a more minimalist, I'm like, no, I don't want souvenirs. But it's just about getting the right souvenirs that are actually going to be functional and that you're actually going to love and use for a long time. So the area of our home that I'm going to be decluttering today is actually in our bedroom. So I'll show you what we're working with. Okay, so the first area I want to declutter and actually totally clear off are these shelves. So we got this IKEA bookcase probably like almost a year ago, and since then I have done almost nothing with them. I had every intention of making them look really pretty and styling them, but that just never happened. But at the end of the day, I realized I don't really want to go out and buy more stuff and more knick-knacky things and home decor things just to fill these shelves. Hopefully soon we are going to get a desktop computer, and so I need somewhere to put that. And so on this wall I'm going to make a little mini office in our bedroom. So that'll be a totally different video, but until that happens, I need to clear off all these shelves and take some pictures so that I can post it online, and hopefully somebody else will enjoy this bookshelf. Oh, the bookshelf is all cleared off. And you're probably wondering, Rachel, where are you going to put all those books? Because I'm definitely not donating all of these books, but we need to store them somewhere. And that leads me to the next area of our room that I'm going to declutter, which is this sideboard that we have here. And most of it houses a lot of like Chris's stuff and it's pretty organized, but my little area of the sideboard is not organized at all. So this is the area that is not organized at all. Let's clear it all out and see what we have. My last video that I did on decluttering, which was, what was it titled? Like the 5-day minimalism challenge. I'll link that down below and I'll put it in the cards here. But that video went over really well and it surprised me because I thought, is decluttering kind of like boring? But I actually really enjoy watching other people declutter their spaces. So I put it up and the response was really great. You guys seem to really enjoy that video and feel inspired to also declutter some spaces in your house. But I definitely didn't cover everything in that video, obviously. And I mentioned in that video that I wanted to be more intentional about doing like monthly declutters. So I guess that's what this kind of is, that each and every month I choose an area to declutter, and hopefully over time it will mean that I'm just decluttering, you know, 2 or 3 pieces just so that I can stay actually on top of clutter. And so I'm trying to get in the habit of doing like a little declutter every month or at least every other month. I also find that traveling and coming home after traveling always makes me want to declutter. I don't know why. It makes me want to clean and declutter. So I'm finally going to tackle this area because I've been wanting to for too long. So much jewelry that is not my style anymore. I remember when statement necklaces were like all the rage and I loved this one, but it's definitely not my style anymore. These are actually the earrings that I wore on my wedding day, and I struggle with stuff like this because I will probably never actually wear these again. But at the same time, I'm like, should I keep them? Should I keep them for my kids? Like, I don't know. I think I will keep these because they're small enough to put in like a little memory box. They don't take up too much space. And yeah, I think I will keep them. Okay, so here's some of the stuff that I'm keeping, but a lot of it is going to be moving somewhere else. And then I have this stack of journals and my old Bible, which I recently got a new Bible, so this one is falling apart, but it's really important to me and it's special, and there's just so many notes in it, and I definitely want to keep this, at least for the time being. I think it would be a cool thing to pass on to, I don't know, future kids, future generations. And the same goes for my journals, because I've documented so many seasons of life, so many different spiritual seasons, and again, kind of like the Bible, maybe one day, I don't know, my kids, their kids will be interested in looking through these, reading them. So yeah, for now I'm gonna keep those. And then here is all the stuff that I'm giving away, and this is garbage. Well, some of these things are also garbage. I'm going to put together this white box from IKEA that I've had for a little bit, but I think it will be nice to kind of organize some of the smaller bits that I'm going to put back. If you're gonna spend the time to declutter also spend the time to reorganize the space. So instead of just throwing all this stuff that you're keeping just back in here, make sure that there is some sort of good organizational system happening, just making sure that everything has a place and everything is organized, and this will just help to maintain the tidiness as opposed to like what I had before where I just threw everything in there. To make sure that everything has a place, everything has a spot, and if it doesn't fit in here, find another home, or maybe that's a sign that you should get rid of that thing as well.
If I don't do it, I just wanna love you. If I don't do it, I just wanna love you, love you. If I don't do it, I just wanna love you. If I don't do it, I just wanna love you, love you.
So I just spent the last hour or so reading. Right now I'm reading The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. It's pretty creepy and I'm getting to pretty intense parts. So yeah, this is a thriller. So reading it like when I'm home alone is maybe not the best, but it's bright out, it's not dark, so it's not too scary. But I have been loving reading lately. Instead of spending so much time watching TV or on my phone, I've been kind of trying to challenge myself to read at least once throughout the day. Usually it's just before bed, but this afternoon after I finished decluttering, I just was in the mood to read, and that's what I did, and it was great. And if you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would subscribe and stick around, and also give this video a thumbs up. It just really helps our channel out. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you're having a great day no matter where you are in the world, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.